Well, them is his titles. It's all respect. Like I told everybody for a long time. I'm like, man, me and Canelo. I got a ton of respect for Canelo. I'm a fan of Canelo. I've always been a fan of Canelo, and I wanted to be the one to give him back his belts. I didn't want my team to hand him back his belts. I wanted to be the one to give him back his belts.
The only thing I told him was that you could not give Canelo the senator. And earlier you gave it to him, but then you started outboxing and outsmarting with it, and he started taking it back at the right time. So he studied his film very well. He knew when to fight, when to move left, and when to move right. He was a very smart fight. He completely frustrated Canelo.
The only thing I wonder is if Crawford was born and made in a laboratory, in a test tube, because that was science. That was pure science. No two ways about it.
The arena just witnessed history as Crawford shocked the world, dethroning Canelo in a way no one expected and ushering boxing into a new era. The air was electric as stunned reactions poured in, and in the middle of it all, Crawford's father calmly stated, "I knew my son was that good," words that reflected years of sweat, long nights, and unwavering belief, reminding everyone that greatness is built brick by brick. Then Roy Jones Jr., speaking with the authority of a legend, declared, "Hard to beat that, brother. He going to be up there somewhere close to the top 5. I promise you," a stamp of approval that turned Crawford's win from just a victory into a benchmark for measuring greatness. Finally, respected analyst Gareth A. Davies added his voice, blending awe and sharp insight to capture the magnitude of the moment, cementing Crawford's place among boxing's immortals.
Yeah, brother, he's going to be up there somewhere close to the top 5, I promise.
This wasn't mere praise, it was a precise technical verdict. Every observation highlighted Crawford's complete control and brilliance in every phase of the fight. From a seasoned perspective, it wasn't flattery but fact, forged from ringside reality, framing Crawford's performance not as a shocking upset but as a true masterpiece. In that moment, his position at the very peak of boxing's mountain felt undeniable. Then, Adam Catterall weighed in with clinical precision, stripping away emotion and breaking down how Crawford systematically dismantled a champion step by step.
Absolutely, I picked Canelo because I thought he was so much bigger, almost three weight divisions above him. But the majesty and poise of Terence Crawford's brilliance tonight was to the fore. I had it 9 rounds to 3. I can just about see 8 rounds to 4, the 16-12 score. I cannot see 7 rounds to 5 from 2 of the judges. Terence Crawford tonight, at speed of thought, speed of hands, speed of feet, took it to Canelo when he had to. Canelo had no answers to him. For me, Terence Crawford moves up to the number 1 pound for pound spot in the sport right now, above Naoya Inoue, above Alexander Usyk. He is incredible to become historically a 3-weight undisputed world champion. It just beggars belief what he's managed to do. He was immense tonight. He took it with humility. There was a little bit of emotion afterwards, but from first to last, I have to say it, Canelo did not have the answers for him. So let's take nothing away from Crawford. It was all of his doing.
Oh, absolutely.
He was the one that made Canelo look older, slower, and without the...
Every word underscored Crawford's total command from the opening bell to the final moment. He wasn't just winning rounds, he was writing the entire story of the fight. Adam's breakdown revealed just how flawless the performance truly was, leaving no questions unanswered and no weaknesses exposed. It was a masterclass in every sense, one that elevated Crawford's legend even further. And Adam didn't stop there. He dug deeper into what made this night extraordinary, speaking with the raw energy of someone who had just witnessed history unfold.
He schooled him from start to finish. Listen, it was cagey at the start, don't get me wrong. There was a little bit of nip and tuck, there was a little bit of downloading the data, seeing what the situation is. Interesting that for the full 12 rounds, he only boxed in southpaw. No switch hitting tonight, stayed in southpaw. A little bit of downloading of the data, and then just gradually went through the gears up to round 4, and that's when he started to put his foot down. Everything Canelo did tonight, Bud Crawford.
This wasn't analysis for its own sake. It was admiration for a performance that redefined what boxing can be. Crawford's ability to adapt, counter, and control every moment was portrayed as a masterpiece in motion. Adam's reflection carried the weight of witnessing something rare and unforgettable. A fight destined to be remembered as one of the sport's great showcases of skill. He then widened the lens, putting Crawford's rise into perspective and making the victory feel even more monumental.
Only that, if you go back and watch the previews that we did throughout the course of the week, we said that this is a game of IQ. There's going to be movement within the fight. You're going to have to answer different types of questions and bring different types of game plan. Crawford did that. He was able to do it backwards. He was able to do it forwards. He could trade in the pocket, catch the stuff, and then counter. He was absolutely magnificent. Listen, I know this is raw and we've only just walked out the stadium, right?
10 minutes ago.
And when the dust settles on this, we'll probably have better answers and better thought processes. And I'm sure people watching this will get stuck into the comments and maybe say what I'm about to say is quite outlandish. That might be the single best performance that I have ever witnessed live. It was absolutely tremendous. You've got to take into consideration the weight jump. This is a man that was champion at 135, 140, 147, and obviously recently at 154. But let's be honest, he even jumped up to 154 pounds for that. To go then up to 168 and take on the Forbes pound for pound #1 king on a Mexican holiday weekend.
He reminded everyone of Crawford's climb through weight classes, the towering odds against him, and the fact that it all happened on boxing's biggest stage. This wasn't just about beating Canelo, it was about shattering everything that should have made victory impossible. Adams' words elevated Crawford beyond just a winner, casting him as a true history maker. The triumph was cemented as one of boxing's greatest achievements, deserving of every accolade. Then came Paulie Malignaggi, whose breakdown began with a statement that set the tone, framing the night not just as a fight, but as a piece of history.
Jump. This is a man that was champion at 135, 140, 147, and obviously recently at 154. But let's be honest, he even jumped up to 154 pounds for that. To go then up to 168 and take on the Forbes pound for pound #1 king on a Mexican holiday weekend in Las Vegas and managed to beat him on the cards when the judges tried to do him. Mate, it is out of this world what Terence Crawford just did. And he needs all the flowers in the world, he needs all the praise in the world. And I don't think you're wrong, mate, by saying he's the pound for pound #1. It's an ever-moving list. That performance alone deserves to put him right at the...
He focused on what really mattered, Crawford's achievement and the poise with which he delivered it. This wasn't about flash or theatrics, but pure dominance and composure. Paulie painted Crawford as a fighter who has quietly built one of the most complete resumes in boxing. A career defined not just by victories but by the rarity of even losing a single round. He dug deeper into the tactics, making his breakdown not just about what Crawford accomplished, but how brilliantly and intelligently he executed it.
Terence "Bud" Crawford makes history. I mean, that's the only way I can really start out this video. A lot to unpack on an amazing performance by Terence Crawford. Wasn't the most exciting fight, but really it was about Bud Crawford. It was about what he accomplished tonight, and it was about, becoming the first undisputed world champion in the 4-belt era in 3 different weight classes. Really, and the way he did it, and the class that he showed all throughout the preparation, and just flawless. I mean, Terence Crawford has had an amazing career against a lot of very good fighters and world-class fighters, and honestly has barely lost.
Every adjustment and every counter told the story of a fighter completely in control. Paulie highlighted how, even when Canelo searched for openings, Crawford neutralized his power with impeccable timing and precision. It was boxing IQ at its absolute peak. Paulie's breakdown showed that Crawford wasn't merely surviving, he was systematically dismantling Canelo from the opening bell. He then shifted his focus to Crawford's sharpness, explaining how it steadily built Canelo's frustration throughout the fight.
Really boxed very, very well, very, very intelligently. The question mark was what happens when Crawford gets hit cleanly. I'm not sure he got hit cleanly the whole fight. He got hit with some partial shots. Some shots landed cleanly, but by the time Canelo started landing anything cleanly, I think he was hesitant because he was getting countered so much that he was taking some of the steam off the shots in order to hope to be more accurate. Because even late in the fight, there were a couple of shots that Canelo landed, but they barely moved Crawford, there were some good body shots Canelo was throwing, but Crawford started countering those very, very well. I think the key point started coming once, after the first round, Crawford shifted a lot and moved a lot and wanted to just kind of see where Canelo's power was at. He caught a couple of shots on the gloves. And I think there came a point in the first 1 or 2 rounds where Crawford said, this guy's not as strong as I thought. Because you started seeing Crawford hold his ground more and more. And you started seeing Crawford, doing a lot of catching.
The picture was crystal clear. Crawford catching, countering, and punishing with pinpoint accuracy. This wasn't about brute strength, but pure discipline and perfect timing. Paulie explained how Canelo, running out of answers, resorted to rough tactics that only exposed his frustration and unraveling. Crawford, on the other hand, stayed cold and composed, turning every exchange into another reminder of who was truly in control. Paulie didn't hold back in his assessment of Canelo's character under pressure, delivering a blunt, unfiltered breakdown that carried the weight of truth.
Do a lot of catching and shooting, you got to be willing to take the shot, even if you're going to block it. If a guy's a big puncher, even blocking it can be uncomfortable. And Crawford started getting comfortable catching and shooting, especially when Canelo tried to go to the body. Crawford was catching the shots and coming back by the counters. Sharp shots. Crawford never loaded up, but he was sharp the whole night. Sharp with the jab, sharp with the counters, some well-placed body shots as well. Canelo landed here and there. I thought Canelo got really frustrated. I thought that headbutt was a little bit more than accidental, to tell you the truth. When he cut Crawford, I thought that was a little bit more of frustration, because the headbutt may have been accidental, but then you saw Canelo kind of dig his head in Crawford's face. So I thought there was some frustration from Canelo's perspective, because he ran